Hello everybody and welcome back to yet another video, and yes, this is part 2 to the how to make your own SNPC video. It's been a while. In this video we'll go over a number of things. We're gonna figure out how to make your NPC teleport, how to make it spawn stuff. We're also gonna do stuff with timers, Changesky, AddFog, whatnot, and I'll maybe even do possess support. But anyways, let's get started with teleportation. By the way, for a lot of this stuff you are gonna need to copy paste stuff that I'm gonna place in the description, so there's that. See this function right here? This is your teleport function. Hang on, I screwed that up. There we go. This function will be in the description, and you're gonna need to place it basically wherever. Just make sure it's not inside another function. Normally I place it in between spawn and def. So there's that. Anyways, let's go over what it does exactly. This local right, local left stuff is basically the teleport distance. So basically how far the monster will teleport. So here my monster will teleport in a 1000 by 1000 radius, 1000 map units. And if you want your monster to teleport a longer distance, then you can always just increase this number. And this math random line, this basically is just how often your monster will teleport. So basically from a scale of 1 to 100, a dice will be rolled. And if a number in between 1 and 25 gets rolled, then he will teleport. You could set this to 100 and have him teleport basically every in-game tick, but I don't know why you'd want to do that. But yeah, that's pretty much all that does. And then to actually make your NPC teleport, you're gonna want to alter your custom think a little and make it look like this. This line is optional though. This if self get hull range square 2 whatever bullshit, if it's there you don't necessarily need it, because what this does basically is if you're in a 500 map unit range of the monster, then he won't teleport, but if you get too far away from him, then he will teleport. If you want him to teleport basically whenever, then just do this. Both custom think variants will be in the description, but that's really as far as it goes. So that's teleportation, it's that easy. Moving on. I don't know if I went over this in my last video, but let's cover self, play, sprite, anim, and wait. Basically your function is gonna look a little like this, and basically whenever a function is ran, your NPC will stop whatever he's doing just to play this animation. So if you want your NPC to have like some kind of attack animation or death animation or whatever animation, just use this. For example, if you want an attack cooldown now, he will attack me once every 2 seconds now that I've placed this here. That's as far as it goes, really. Let's do Changesky. Again, you're gonna need these two functions you see on screen right here. They will be in the description, so let's just go over what they do. So, function and Changesky. None of this really matters. I'll just go over the lines which you actually have to change if you want your sky to look in a certain way. So of course you got your set colors, you got SetTopColor, SetBottomColor, and SetDuskColor. This will basically just change the color of your fog, and it's just RGB. It's really not that difficult. You set different RGB values to whatever number you want. It's pretty simple. I don't feel like I need to explain this. So like, for example, if you want red, you do 255. If you want blue, you do 255 over here. If you want, I don't know, orange, you do 255, 100. Different RGB values. I'm pretty sure I don't need to explain this. It's pretty straightforward. Forget the decimals here, by the way. You don't need these. You can just add 255 anyways, like so. SetStarTexture. This is basically if you want your sky to have like a custom skybox, but if you want it to be like a still color, then don't change this. Keep it to starfield. That way it'll be a still color. But if you want custom textures, we can go over that in another upload. Or this one if I still have time. And then you got self.Sky SetStarSpeed. This is basically if you want a spinny skybox. If you want your skybox to move at a certain speed, you just simply change this value right here. It's pretty simple. But if you don't want your skybox to move at all, then feel free to remove that. So what I have here, since I have absolutely no color selected, this is basically just going to be a pitch black skybox. So there's that. And then you got yourself AddFog. So let's go over this. We got setFog start and fog end. If this is 0, that means the fog will spawn right on top of you and it will surround you. So there's that. I recommend not changing this, honestly. I want your fog to look natural. And setFog end, basically what this is that the fog will begin generating like after a 500 map, no wait. Basically what it is that it's basically where the fog will start, basically, despite it being named fog end. So beyond a 500 map unit radius, you will no longer be able to see. You can change this value to whatever you want. Depends on how far your fog will go, basically, how far you want it to go. And density is basically how see-through your fog is. Basically, 2 means you cannot see through it at all. But if you want to kind of see through it, then set it to like 0.5 or something like that. And then the last thing that actually matters is set.Fog.Color. This is just the same RGB. Alright, so we got that settled. Now what you want to do is go back to spawn and do self.Changesky. And self.AddFog, and then your NPC will now change the sky and add fog. Pretty simple. Let me go over custom initialize if I haven't yet. Basically what this is, self-sprite_anim event. Here basically you can add like I don't know, whatever function you want. And basically for every single time the NPC does its idle animation, it will trigger this function. It's pretty simple. Let's do summoning. See this function right here? Yeah, this is your summon script. Place it wherever, like normal. None of this matters, the only thing that matters is this. It's basically what it will spawn. So basically your summon function is gonna make your NPC summon something else. So basically if I want my NPC to summon an NPC zombie, which is basically just a default Half-Life zombie, I can. But how can I get my NPC to summon in a zombie, you may ask? Well, just shove it into custom initialize if you want. I mean, you can make the NPC summon whatever you want, basically whenever. It doesn't necessarily matter, like when it attacks, when it dies, when it does whatever. So you do self-summon right here. I'm not sure if I went over relationships either, but this is basically how the NPC feels about you. So if you have both of these set to hate, then it'll go after you. If you have both of these set to like, then it'll protect you from hostile NPCs and not go after you. NU means neutral, and it means it'll do absolutely nothing. And FR is fear, it'll run away from you. You can make an NPC summon in basically whatever you want as long as you have the Lua file name. I'm gonna make it summon in itself. Just for tutorial purposes. But I'm gonna warn you, if you're gonna make it summon in something, no matter where you make it summon in something, when you make it summon in something, you're gonna need to change its collisions so that it won't get stuck inside whatever it is trying to summon. Because when this summon function is ran, it'll summon in what it's trying to summon inside of itself and it can get stuck. So let's fix that. My friend, you're gonna need SetCollisionGroup. There's only two collision groups that really matter, but first up we have CollisionGroup World. If you set it to this, it'll fade through props and other SNPCs. Did I say fade? I meant phase. But you can still attack it and see its health bar if you have a HP bar mod installed. But if we do in vehicle, it'll phase through absolutely anything, even projectiles, does not matter what. But it can't phase through the map itself, basically. So it passes through literally anything. You can't stop it. Which, in all honesty, I recommend if you're making an NPC that is, like, invulnerable and stuff. So now every 2 seconds, my NPC will clone itself. I'm also just gonna make my fog a bit see-through for testing purposes, so that I'll actually be able to see what it is that I'm doing. Not sure if I went over self-remove either. But it basically just removes the NPC whenever you want it to. And with that, we've went over most of the basic functions that you can add to your NPC. Oh yeah, let's do screen shake. This function right here, util screen shake, it'll make your NPC shake the screen. And all these numbers mean something different. And it goes amplitude, frequency, duration, radius. How strong, how often, how long, and how far. Change these values to whatever you want. Here, it just has a pretty basic screen shake that lasts 5 seconds. But I honestly recommend you do this if you're gonna have screen shake. Function and on remove. So basically, when your NPC gets removed, you do run console command shake stop, so that it stops shaking the screen. Speaking of console commands, let's do that. Yeah, you can make your NPC just run console commands whenever. This is pretty self-explanatory. So on spawn, I want it to run a command. And in the description, I'll be linking this console commands guide made by Outer Space. This guy's awesome. But yeah, it's every single Gmod console command. I mean, here's some you can run. You can run kill server. You can also run... what else can you run? You can change the map friction, SV friction. You can do material overlays, which we'll go over in a second. You can do CL draw HUD 0, which will stop displaying the HUD, whatnot. Yeah, I was about to say there's no clip speed. You can disable no clip, but it's pretty awesome. Anyways, let's do material overlays. Run console command post-processing material overlay. This will basically just add a screen effect. for as long as the NPC is active. Because, okay, well, if you just leave this here and not add anything else, then the overlay will stay on your screen forever. So to stop that, you're going to want to add the same command again, but just remove the effect that's on your screen, so it's basically just going to kill the overlay. So, for example, this NPC will now add a underwater-like filter to my screen when I spawn it in. And in the description, I will link a series of different, like, effects that you can add onto your screen. Oh yeah, and there's also, like, self-jump 500, I don't know. This basically just makes the NPC jump up in the air. I don't know why you'd ever want to use this, but okay. It's a thing that exists, so you know what? My NPC will now jump 500. I don't even know what measurement unit in the sky when I spawn it in. By the way, you can do custom overlays, but I'm going to make a tutorial on custom textures and 3D NPCs in the future. That might be part 3. But anyways, I want to do possession now. So for possession, you're just going to want to replace this garbage with this instead. Before, you could possess NPCs, but they wouldn't do anything. You could just move around and that's it. Now, you have a possession bind for the attack, so you can perform the attack. And you can also jump, because why not? So feel free to add that. Oh yeah, and for run console command, there's also like a change map command, which I think is pretty funny, but I'm not sure why you'd want to use that. I mean, I did use it for some of my NPCs, but yeah, I think that's enough for part 2. I've showed you guys how to do a lot of stuff, and now I'm going to test out some of this. Now we're gonna have a look at absolutely everything at once, apparently. Alright, let's see. Oh, there was a jump. Uh-oh. Well, this is potentially problematic. Ooh, this is laggy. Jesus. Okay, stop. Stop it. Okay. Okay, I removed the summon script so he won't clone himself. But yeah, there's the teleport, the screen shake, the fog, yeah, and even the jump on spawn, and even the screen filter. So, I mean, it works, I guess. It's pretty fun. Oh, you actually can't see the fog because I didn't make it bright enough. Hang on. You can kind of see it, I guess. Fine, I'll just set the density to 2. Yeah, that's what it's meant to look like. Oh, hey there. Let's change the sky and fog to red. It's gonna look a little something like this. Yup, that's red, alright. Ow. But yeah, there you go, we have updated our NPC. Tune in to part 3 in 54 years, where I'll be making 3DS NPCs and covering whatever other things you guys want me to cover. But yeah, I guess I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.